What's going on, Screaming Eagles? This is Jet Eagle 101 here. Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. In our last video, we solved the case about our friend that was killed in the baths. Found out it was the archaeologist who did it, and while doing so, we come over to the suburbs to see a lord that has passed, and we talk to his wife and the keeper. Now we're going to investigate. So let us going on. Let's continue. So this small table has something.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port. But which one?
But which one, you say? Let's find out.
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Interesting. Scratches?
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame. This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
All right.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it.
Yes, we do.
Your ladyship?
Your ladyship.
My mistress is very tired. Can't you allow her to her room?
Let us try to open this safe.
Okay, let's try to crack open the safe.
Can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
There we go. And let's find out about our last one. Oh, we got a jingle. There we go. An easy one like that.
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal. Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
So they are. A medical report?
Oh, what a horrible thing.
Oh, there we go. We got something.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead. But a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
I would think it's probably a sailor to give me thoughts, but let's go talk to Inspector Lestrade before we go into the other room.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Interesting.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
A fur trader's cabin.
Well, let's examine the body.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
It is possible.
That must be the murder weapon. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
So indeed, so indeed.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
Interesting.
A fur trader's cabin. A deer hunt. The hunting scene. This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
I guess so.
A bottle of wine is missing here. These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
It is also very interesting, it seems.
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
Interesting. Interesting, it seems.
Antique hunting weapons. The hunting scene. A trapper's hut. A trapper's hut.
Let's see here. There's gotta be...
The death was instant.
The bell rope is gone. I know there was more than one picture here. The glasses.
Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
No?
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
That makes something interesting right there. Examine the chair.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to. A fur tree.
This house feels rather sinister. I can't see.
A hunter scene.
A hunter's scene, you say?
A hunter's cabin. The Brackenstall family appear to be preoccupied with hunting.
It seems so, it seems so. Lestrade?
I've searched outside for footprints without any...
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Please leave my Mary alone.
Okay. So what we got is a rope. I would like to go inspect it back at Baker Street. Perhaps we can find something. Examine the
Let
rope.
us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
Okay. Let's try with the scissors.
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
Not that one. How about these cutters?
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
Not cutters. Maybe a knife.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
I'm thinking it was a sailor. We need Toby.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Well, back to Abby's Grace. We got our trustworthy Toby.
Search, Toby.
You found something there, Toby? I believe he did find something. Look at Toby go! He's going to find us a clue.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Very good, Toby. Very good.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Ooh. Got a little cramp in my jaw.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Well, let's find out. Let's see what's at the shed. Maybe there's something inside of it.
This hook might be useful. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
And then they went over here.
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Move the bucket and attach the hook.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Another. A murderer visitor. Yes, I think so. A sailor. Search for sailor suspects. Well, before we do so, archives.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Seems like. Seems like so.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
See ya.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Indeed. Per se. Alright, now we gotta go. What's this? Ah. Now we gotta look on to our archives. Excuse me. Nose. We'll start by the year, 93. Here it is.
Here it is.
There we go. I think we figured it out.
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Specialist? That means we get Wiggins.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3 hours later.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Good work, young Wiggins. Alright. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Let's see here. November the 7th.
This list shows...
Alright.
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
No? Why do you say that?
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Maybe. No.
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case. This list shows the senior... Mr. Jack...
I think we got it. I think so, yeah. What?
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Alright, so.
I do not... This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Okay.
This officer is still at sea.
Oh, okay, I think I get it now.
I do not...
I think I get it now. So.
I do not think... This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot...
You're right.
This officer is still at sea.
Charles and William. So let's look for Charles and William.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Well, there we go.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Alright, Mr. Wiggins. Wiggins, I got another task for you. Another task for you
Wiggins,
indeed.
could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Let's take a look at this guy here. Clear look. He's honest. Strong build. Newspaper ink. Clean boots. What the? Oh. Sea knife.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
I call it sailor knots.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sherlock. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
So we did.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
We know he did that. Was murdered by one person who was visited that night. The murderer is tall and agile and a high-ranking officer. I shall absolve him because he did this out of love because, well, see, Eustace wasn't a nice guy, so we'll do that.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Barely an hour has passed. It so seems.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear, and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
What? What are you gonna do? Stop. Drop it. Whew. That was a close one.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox Dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, You are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
Indeed so, indeed so.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Sir Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstone that night. They staged it as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used his sea knife to cut the bill rope to tie the lady and then hide the silverware in the will. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and diplomatical man. You have decided to keep it a secret. It sounds right, and it was right, I should say. Yes, it was. I accept this decision. That was very good. Well, we're going to end the video from right here after it gets to this point. Just hold on for a second. Yeah, we're going to end the video from right here. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, hit that like button. If you got something to say about it, hit it down in the comment section. Want to be part of the Screaming Eagles for more exclusive content? Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification for more upcoming videos by Jet Eagle 101. And as always, I'll see you later. Have a good one.